Hello and welcome back to episode 12 of 2.5. 13.
13.
Jack was 12.
Sorry.
No. Try again next week, mate. You're done.
Oh.
Yeah,
You go.
one and done, bro.
Go. We're still recording. Go.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to episode 13 of 2.5 Coaches. Fair few things to get through today, but we're going to start off obviously with around the grounds. So pretty big couple of weeks so far for us. You going to kick us off, Isaac? Some of the rugby
Great intro,
guys.
by the way. I really like that.
Nice.
First try and everything.
Yeah, as always. So obviously, congratulations to obviously the rugby crew to start with. With the Wanneroo girls, Ethan with the Soaks boys, that was a pretty intense game. And they definitely deserved in terms of their effort and how they play that game. And it was nice to see Ethan all over the park and kind of paying off for the work that he put in. And then Connor and Hayden won their Colts grand final.
How good.
From
Back to
rugby
back.
perspective. Back to back, yeah.
It's huge.
So that was big for them.
And also for footy, a big shout out to obviously Benny and Louis going back to back as well. Winning by 80 points in the grand final.
Tough.
Well, I mean, for them, they had a really good team going in. I think they lost to Beacon. I think one game during the season.
Yeah.
But they got everyone back from injury just in time for the grand final, which is, really good to watch.
Peaking at the right time.
Exactly.
That's all we want.
We want to take over for
Yeah,
the
then
hockey,
the
basketball
basketball
and hockey.
crew. We had, for the under-20s, Jonah from South was playing against James from HQ. Jonah and the Cougars came out on top by 1 point. But yeah, tough for Jimmy, but he had a good game, and for him to come back from that shoulder surgery and get through the whole season and play the whole season, that was our number one goal for the year. So for him to tick that off and play well in a grand final is a fantastic achievement. And then for under 18 ones for the champ men's, Willow played against Perry Lakes. So Andreas versus Lockie, Dumb versus Dumber. Lockie came out on top, but both Andreas and Lockie had good games. And then also special mention to our Wildcats Academy crew who are littered throughout both of those teams. So Aaron, Gashaw, Lowell, Tim, I'm going to forget someone.
Maxi
Channing.
Yeah, Maxi.
Nah, Max.
Maxi under 20.
Nah, he played under 20s. Oh, yeah. Shout out Max for under 20s. It's all about James Fry. I feel like I'm missing someone. But yeah, handful. And then Billy McRae from Perry Lakes as well with Andreas. But that was a good game. And then 18-2s, Liam Wenham. Him and the Hawks got up in that. It was a big comeback game, so that was exciting as well. And then Jamie in the 18-3s. They unfortunately went down, but he had an excellent season, so that was good for him. And then, of course, our under-14 boys, DJ Jr.,
boys.
Ben Thompson, Gary, Zach, and who else? Austin Gostevsky, and a few others who have trained in and out over the years, but they got up. And that was, I went down and watched that one first thing in the morning, and that was a ripper game. Willerton was top-notch as well, so I mean, I was watching that, and I was definitely not that good when I was under 14s. The size of these kids and the skill, I reckon there was only maybe 4 or 5 threes missed in the whole game. I was just watching, kids were hitting step-back threes. I'm like, this is insane. So the future of basketball is bright in WA.
It's all that basketball at the back of Perform.
Yeah. All the one-on-ones against Keith are paying off.
Against the older rap.
I'm literally playing against bigger kids in under 14s than Keith.
Shit.
Ouch.
What
else we got?
A couple of other guys as well. So obviously Will from Rocco Sharks won his under 16s.
Under 17s.
Under 17s grand final. And Simon.
Oh yeah, Simon. Big country guy.
Big country guy won his grand final.
Duke alumni.
For hockey.
He won his hockey. I don't even know what division it is.
Well, he was going to go away that week too, he said.
He said he flew back in Friday.
Flew back in just for the game.
Life of a professional athlete.
Probably got MVP, No, but he's had a really good season. And so looking forward to a big off season now and getting him back match ready for next season.
Yeah.
Go back to back.
Another big week this week, obviously, with a couple more grand finals to go. We got Leo, one of our youth guys, is playing his hockey grand final for UWA. And little Charlie Philly is playing her netball grand final tomorrow, which would be fun to watch. So
Yeah,
keep you
so
guys
this
updated
will
on
come
that.
out afterwards. So hopefully next time we're talking about how they won their grand finals.
Big shout out Charlie Philia. She's been having a go at me for only mentioning Ben most of the time, but
Who?
Charlie.
That's Ben who?
Ben Philia.
Oh my
Just
God,
straight
mate, just straight over. Ben, my favourite Ben.
My favourite Ben.
All right.
And then Lace also semi-final this week for soccer. That'll be a big game.
Didn't she win the under 20s with the
Under
girls?
21s, yeah.
Under 21s with the
She
girls
like
as well.
12.
Yeah, she's like,
like
she's
15,
like 15.
15, 16.
She's still crazy.
She's a freak.
Yeah, she's got a big future ahead.
Yeah. Couple of shout outs, obviously, a couple of big mentions. Some of the boys had a really stellar season. Johan getting picked, obviously, for the under 14s Moldy for the NRLW. WA state team selections for NRL as well. You want to mention those, Isaac?
Yeah, we got coach Tommy, obviously, and then we had Ben, and then got selected, I believe, and then Marcel also. I definitely feel like there should have been a few more boys in there, but credit to the boys that did
Not
get
biased.
picked. Hey,
Not biased.
not at all. And then also from the union perspective as well, we got Manu, who's one of our Perform athletes, and then we've got two of the Basie boys, Goose and Maxi, that made Perth gold. So congratulations to those boys as well. They had a huge year and definitely deserved it.
What's next on the agenda, Keith?
So in the last 4 to 6 weeks as well, I think after the winter sport season finished, we transitioned into our athletics carnival for the Trinity guys in private school association. So Trinity did actually surprisingly really well. I think
What do you mean surprisingly?
They put in the work.
Yeah, they put in the work. They've been
You
really
were coaching them.
You were coaching them. You shouldn't be surprised.
No, I think the past couple of years obviously struggled because we never really hit in the top 3, especially not having borders. We were a very small crew, like Guildford, compared to all the other schools. But yeah, managed to come third this year I think we only came third by less than 10 points.
And the juniors came second.
And the juniors came second. So that's great. I think credit to the boys. But yeah, a lot of them's actually been in the gym very consistently, and you can tell too because the younger crew, I reckon, when I was watching them, I think the younger crew from year 10s and below are going to have a really bright future.
They're the ones that have been in the gym for 3 years already.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
I mean, some of the numbers
year
they're
11s
putting.
and 12s is slacking.
That's you,
Call them out.
Charlie Watson, Jai Castleton.
There's athlete development into like chest and arms as the grades go up.
No, but I think some of the numbers they're putting up as well in the gym,
Yeah.
impressive. Like some of the year 9 crew squatting 80 kilos for 3 to 5 reps.
Again, like I'm watching these basketballers at like 13 years old just drilling threes, and I'm seeing these kids at like 12, 13 just burying like 80 kilo squats. I'm like, what the hell?
Just bouncing out.
Yeah.
All right. So
And to the main event,
to the main event.
handing over to Isaac Davis.
Yeah, a bit of a malfunction.
Technical difficulties.
Thanks, Dad.
Cut the last 30 seconds.
All right. So
To the main event,
main
Isaac
event.
Davidson.
Hey, I thought you were announcing it.
yeah, so if most of you guys obviously following along with our journey. We said we weren't going to open another gym, but we are.
Isaac very adamantly.
You got pranked. We back, baby, bigger than ever.
All right, let's cut that bit. Anyway, okay. So we've obviously, let's be honest. Someone literally asked us the week before, and I was like, nah, no fucking way. Would we open another one? But we were very lucky enough in terms to get an opportunity. As anyone knows in business and anyone knows in gyms, it's finding the space and organising the space. It's the hardest and most stressful and most financially demanding thing to do. But we've obviously been lucky in that department in terms of what we found and connections and things like that. So we've just, again, opportunity. I feel like that's anything we ever do is we'll say no. The opportunity will arise and we'll just say yeah. We'll
twist
run
my
with
arm.
it. Yeah.
All got pretty rubber arms.
And yeah, when you're sitting at home and you're stressed through your eyeballs, you're like, nah, fuck this, don't want to do it anymore. But then you come into the gym and you see our crew, you see everyone training, South, HQ, you definitely can't say no. And it was already around the original long-term vision in terms of to create a bit of a network and to spread out across Perth to then, because that was always the goal, is there is a handful of dedicated, driven athletes that I feel like could benefit from who we are and what we do. And then to be able to connect all of those together. And then again, we'll talk about the combine and stuff like that. It's only going to make it even
East
better.
and west loading.
Yeah, no. Hell no.
Cap.
3's the limit.
If you see
Join
a
us
post
back in 2 weeks.
that says East or West, please
It wasn't us.
shoot. Yeah, take me out. But no, yeah, obviously it's super exciting. It's a big opportunity for us. We're looking to be located literally in the heart of Joondalup, and then very lucky enough to have literally a field across the road, which is obviously a big part of what we do in terms of the field sessions as well. Courts are down the road. Joondalup golf course is very close as well, which is a big priority for me.
That's actually why Isaac opened the gym. Tax deductible golf meetings.
Free golf primers.
So yeah, which again, like I said, it's very exciting. It's a big opportunity. We've got a lot of work to do, but it seems like we've already got a pretty big crowd up north in Joondalup, and a lot of people have been asking for it for a while. So we're looking to open our doors in December of 2024, which is 3 months away, which is 2 months more than we usually give ourselves.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, well, it was quoted you're going to give yourself more than 2 weeks, so you have held up that part of the.
Imagine actually having like more than a week to put a gym together.
Yeah, I know.
Diamonds made under pressure.
But yeah, anything you want to add?
I think obviously it's a huge opportunity for us. I think a lot of our guys travel so far away, especially to come to HQ. And I think going up there with an opportunity that came out all like out of the blue, I think a lot of the guys would benefit out of that as well. And at least we can I don't know, just
Continue to push it out that
continue
way.
to push it. Yeah, exactly.
Because there is, like, and especially the way Perth's growing, like, everything's building north. Like, south is kind of, like, there's not really much development. It's going out, like, outland.
Yeah.
Outland, inland, whatever you want to call it.
I don't think anyone's happier than Caleb. I honestly don't think anyone's happier about
And he's in Sydney.
Yeah, we do have a fair few guys who, like, some come all the way from Alkmaar. So
Yeah. It's that 45, 50-minute drive.
Take 20 minutes, 30 minutes off the drive.
Yeah.
That's pretty handy.
Yeah. And that'll be one thing with our, like, for anyone that isn't a member, like, all of them come together. So you've got the accessibility to use all the gyms.
Yep.
So we're hoping to build those connections where, yeah, it'll be a little bit closer to you up at north, but then you'll still come into HQ for a session every now and again. You might come down here for a field session or a court session or something like that. And we're going to really get interconnected with all of our athletes across the whole of Perth.
If you want to come see me, I'm at HQ. Just saying. The vibes.
Nice, Keith.
Thanks for your contribution.
As always. But yeah, anything we want to add in terms of north?
I think it's just super exciting, like you said, and just a chance to reach more athletes. Like, again,
We are more excited than what we look.
just
Stress.
Help me.
But yeah, that's stoked. Like, there's obviously quite a few sporting clubs out that way too, like Joondalup, Wanneroo Rugby, Joondalup Basketball, Warwick, like a little bit down the road from there. So yeah, just a chance to open up to a wider audience. So that's kind of why we jumped at the opportunity at South initially, and that's just kind of, like we said, everything we do is trying to be for the athlete, try provide as much opportunity and accessibility to high-level training and coaching. And
Sure.
I feel like we're just continuing to deliver on that, so that's cool.
Yeah. And it's like, which we'll talk about South. I mean, like, it's not easy. It's a bit of a tough journey and it spreads us very thin.
Yeah.
But again, we work hard in the background to make sure we keep ourselves in the best place as possible to then look after the athletes and look after everybody. And we'll keep adapting, we'll keep growing. But again, when we say it's about the athlete, we genuinely mean it. And I think we will be one of the first to spread out across this far and across this many spaces. So yeah, it'll obviously be a big test to see how we can do it, and what it'll look like. But again, we'll make it work. We always do.
Yep.
But yeah, and also then if there's any teams, anyone up that way, again, physiotherapists, teams, etc., that are looking for a connection in terms of strength and conditioning facility, want to reach out, etc., just reach out. We'll obviously, once we get ourselves in there in November, we'll start moving pieces around and fitting the place together. We'll be looking to obviously just reach out, connect with everybody, network, invite people in, show what we do, etc., but there'll be more details the closer we get.
Stay tuned on socials. Also, PerformNorth. Is there an underscore in there?
Yeah, they're all the same. Just copy and paste there. Yeah.
If it ain't broke. All right, Keith's also been like up to date on the socials too. So
I told you I'm back.
You know when someone doesn't post on social media for so long and then it gives you that notification on your phone? Like it pops up like on your screen like Keith Law has made his first post in a while. Yeah. That's what happened.
I found my calling. Canva.
Shout out Canva.
Shout out
Could
Canva.
be our first sponsor of the show.
Yeah, exactly. Canva, if you're listening. Please, man, please.
did you want to continue on with South and kind of...
Yeah, 100%. So you can probably hear the tone of our voices in terms of it's Friday afternoon. We're a little bit cooked. It's a bit of an understatement to say that the last few weeks have been like massive, and you don't know whether to be extremely over the moon or extremely tired. But in terms of South, we've just a few bits and pieces have moved around. As anyone, again, like I said at the start, anyone knows in terms of business and leasing and commercial properties, and things can get difficult. People can change minds, and it's one thing I've learnt a lot. If anyone needs advice in that side of things, I can teach you a lot in that side. But
mentoring with Isaac Davidson coming soon.
What not to do, literally. But yeah, anyway, the spot that we're in, someone big is coming through, buying it out, which means we've got to move. We've been searching around for places down, and we're looking to move down to Port Kennedy, which makes more sense. We've got Sharks down there. It seems that a lot of our athletes are actually closer down there. Baldivis, Port Kennedy, even Mandurah down that way. Because again, South was quite rushed. Opportunity arose. We were like, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to have a crack. So looking to move, and then we're just at that piece now where commercial property is just in a space where it's quite hard to get into. So we're running out of time in terms of actually finding a spot. So again, we're being completely transparent where it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And we're literally we're scrambling, going around, talking to people, and trying to find another spot for us to move into. So the real reality is we're probably going to move, or we're hoping to move down towards Lark Hill, within Lark Hill, if we're lucky enough with some connections there, and set ourselves up just temporarily there for a few months until we can find somewhere. So we've got this huge high of PerformNorth happening, and then we've got this weird feeling like we're letting a lot of people down, which is what has made the last, that's kind of overridden the high of the North, which that'll come when we open the doors and everything's all good. But there's a lot of people down there, and I said that to you the other day.
Yeah, on Monday.
I was like, I'll be completely honest, like the stress of everything, even the back of my mind was thinking about closing it down.
Yeah.
Like I'll be completely honest. How stressed we were throughout the season, where we were going, etc. I was like, I don't know if we can do this anymore. Yeah. And then I walked in that gym on Monday.
It was packed.
And it was packed.
Yeah.
And there was friggin' power lifters talking shit to soccer players, getting on, like everyone was getting on, everyone was having fun, everyone was putting in the work and training well.
It's a different vibe down there too.
Yeah.
Like so different up here. Like guys down there, like they just come in and get the work done. But it's different because you got the population so different. Like you get the older crew getting along with the younger guys, and everyone just talks shit to each other, and it's very fun to watch. Yeah,
they're unique. Their own, which is going to be the cool thing. They're all going to have their own personality, and that's what we want to let be a natural occurrence. But yeah, like we said, we're standing there on Monday, and I stood back outside the garage door, and I saw it fall, and I was like, nah, we're not doing that. Nah, there's no way. So like I said, we've been talking, we've gone, and I think that's an important piece in business where you've just got to be A, transparent, and then B, you've got to communicate to everybody and let them know what's going on. Don't bullshit, don't lie, and then don't at the last minute go out and be like, oh, this is what's happening. I think that's big pieces that I've learned along the way. Communication's a big piece, and that's something
We did a podcast on that.
yeah, funny enough. But that's what we've been trying to do. And we'll work hard to be transparent and tell everyone what we're doing. But we've got our current spot until perfectly the end of the second combine, so 30th of November. Then hopefully we'll either move, if we found somewhere, move into another spot, or hopefully if we're allowed to move into Lark Hill, we'll be there for a little bit of a base. We'll make sure we keep everything looked after. And then fingers crossed we find our spot, we lock it in, and we grow. And we go from there.
Also, another one, if any of you got any mates that own a warehouse down Rockingham, let us know. I was happy to,
Talk business.
talk
business, big business guy. What?
This has got to be the most transparent podcast that's ever been out there.
No filter.
But legit, we're 100% looking for a spot, and that is the difficult part of leasing and warehousing and going into a spot that's not zoned as gyms as well. That's a whole other topic in business 101 of what not to do. But yeah, we'll
sort it out.
Keith will work with his networks and
knows a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah. My friend's friend.
But in saying that, at the same time, we're going to clip this now. But like genuinely, like I hope everyone from our athletes hears this in terms of we do genuinely, and I think you two show it as well. We'll take our shirt off our back to look after our crew. We'll go out of our way to look after our crew, and we really want to make sure that everyone knows that we're putting everything into this. And I mean everything in terms of
There's not much left.
There's like that much of the candle left. And we try our best to show a brave face at the front. As you two do a very good job of it. But we do. We mean what we do. We do everything we do for the athlete. And we'll do what we need to do to make sure everyone gets looked after.
Sure.
And yeah. Yeah, nothing you want to add.
To finish on a positive note, let's talk about some upcoming things over the last few weeks as well. We've had like a handful of guys
that
left to go over to Europe and other places to continue their sporting career. So do you want to touch on that, Keith?
Yeah, so we got a couple. Obviously, we got a couple guys, like a few guys that's been training with us the whole year, since the start of the year, or even longer, some of them. The first one's Jack. Long lost, our first son, our first child. Batman. So Batman, obviously, as you guys know, Jack from the previous podcast, he got signed over to Ireland.
To where?
Sorry, what?
Ireland. Yeah.
We are nice to each other, we swear.
Man, English is my second
Hey,
language.
The one with that green, white, and orange flag. Yeah.
That one.
Oh yeah,
that's really clever.
Kinners obviously went back overseas as well, but this time he's signed with a different club with Stopsy.
Yep.
So they're playing together this time.
They're together now.
Yeah, they're together now.
That's
a
dangerous.
recipe for disaster.
Byron got lucky enough after a really, really good year at Sid Shield.
Mm-hmm.
Got signed over in Div 1 UK.
Yeah, the championship.
Terminator.
Yep, in the championship. Ricardo got signed to Poland, which is over there now, and he's coming back, I think, in November. Then he'll go back there again. And most handsome guy, Perform Jacob.
Biggest chest as well. Keith loves his chest.
Yeah.
Well done to everyone. I feel like it's slowly building that. That's kind of said it on the podcast the other day, whereas like sport can be that really cool thing where it takes you around the world. And it's that little middle part of your life that if you've been an athlete as your whole life through your juniors, you can kind of use it to your advantage and travel the world and maybe get a little bit of money for it. Again, well done to all the guys. And again, there'll be obviously more in the future. But it's a pretty cool piece that Connor said yesterday is like he's, same as Jack, like come back and forth and Perform feels like home. So like we're starting to get this even with Matt, even a few other guys. Byron, yep. They'll come back for a bit. We'll see them for 6 to 12, 14 weeks, whatever it is. Yep. They'll come home for a bit, and then they'll go off again, which is starting to be a pretty cool little tradition that we're building in.
It's also really good to watch how far they progress as well.
Yeah.
Especially with some of those guys that you've been playing, training, and some of you've been playing with as well. Like,
Yeah.
Like I've known Kinder since I was 13, 14, and Stopsy. So watching them go overseas and pursuing that's pretty good watch. Don't know if Kinder's is going to play with Sink Piss, but good enough.
Sink piss.
Sink Piss.
Nice kid. It's definitely that.
yeah.
But yeah, no, really good, very good.
And then
job.
in other exciting news,
The shit I
so-
have to put.
update: Isaac's closing all 3 gyms.
Oh, that enough. Fuck.
All right, updates. Well, other exciting news, we've got obviously Hoops Fest coming up next week. So that's probably, speaking of PerformNorth, a chance for the North crew to kind of check it out. But Hoops Fest is going to be like probably the biggest thing that's happened in basketball in Australia. They're doing like a gather round style thing where all the NBL teams are coming to Perth, playing their first round. WNBL teams are playing games as well. That's all going to be at RSA Arena. But then they're also doing an under-18 club champs, which I think is the first time they've done it, but it's essentially like the top 3 to 4 teams, I think, from each state at the club level coming over here. They're all going to be playing each other. So pretty much all the guys we mentioned before.
So kind of like the NBL 1 tournament they do at the end of the year.
Yeah. So like they have it at an under 14 level, which is what like our under 14 crew, so like DJ Junior and all those guys, they're going to be flying out the week after for that. So they've always had it for under 14s. But I think it's awesome for it to be at the under 18 level, especially like some of these teams. I mean, I know some of the guys are like shitting themselves a little bit because you're going up against some of the big teams that have like 5 Australian players on the same team, like pretty crazy, but
It's a big
like
experience,
an
but
amazing experience. Like just another competition, like not just a state team. Again, gives an opportunity for guys who might not necessarily make state teams, like to play at that level, showcase. There's going to be like heaps of scouts. It's going to be huge. Like there's so many guys from the other states and stuff as well, which are like on, NBL teams' radars, NBA radars, that kind of thing. So it's going to be really cool. I'm going to be looking forward to getting down and watching some of those games. So if you're around, make sure you check that out. That's going to be some pretty high-level stuff.
that's in Joondalup.
That's in Joondalup at the arena. And then, if you get a chance, there's going to be like all the NBL teams, so like Wildcats and everything, they're going to be playing against each other over the weekend, I think, as well, or throughout the week at RSC Arena. And then the following week, as I mentioned, the under-14 club champs. So our under-14 crew, the Perry Lakes boys, they're going over. It's a massive process, so a lot of fundraising goes into it, a lot of work, and shout out to AJ Nabensi, one of our athletes who's also the coach of that team, so he's going over. They've had a hell of a year. They obviously finished on the high of a championship, so looking forward to them. I look back, I went to that tournament when I was younger, and it was a lot of fun. You get to play against some of the best players around Australia, so there's nothing better than that. Any closing words, Keith?
Combine.
Nah, combine. So just before we move on to the combine, I completely forgot to give a shout to Carter. So you know how Carter came back from the ACL 3 games before the season finished. So I didn't know this till about a couple of weeks ago when he told me he was going to grand final with his club. But they won the grand final and he got best in ground. How good is that? Yeah, so he kicked 2 snags for his club and then got best in ground that game with a broken finger. So, yeah.
Nothing stopping him.
Man, how good is that though? Like
That is a story and a half.
yeah. So he got back
Carter.
just in time. Yeah.
Shout out Carter.
And then
Cristiano
another one
Ronaldo.
as well is so obviously coached the AFL crew in Trinity and Luke Cotter-Lesser. So big ups to him. So I got overlooked a bit this year for the state under 18s. Obviously didn't get picked there, but making team of the year this year for the Colts and only playing 6 games. So to get into it,
Is that like a voting system for that?
So your coach is obviously going to vote you, and you must have done
Pretty good in
pretty
those
damn
6
well
games.
in the 6 games to get voted. So yeah, big shout out to him. I think coming back from a stressy as well, back a couple of years back, and then coming back this year, absolutely firing, and probably had one of his best seasons. And yeah, hopefully big things to come for him as well in the next couple of years. Yeah. And moving on obviously to our last thing on the agenda. We got the combine coming up again, which is pretty cool. Comes around pretty quick.
Yep.
But
only feels like last year.
Yeah, literally.
But the first combine is going to be on the 5th of October, but this one's obviously only going to be for our athletes, in-house athletes.
So if you're on the fence, you got, was it 3 weeks, 2 weeks from when this comes out
Yeah, I think so.
to decide to get in. So like we've mentioned before on previous podcasts, that's going to be our biggest prize of the whole combine. Is going to be the most improved. So obviously you have to attend 1 and 2 to know whether you've improved from 1 or 2 or not. But again, just a great opportunity for initial testing, like setting some baselines, know where your strengths and weaknesses are, what you want to work on over that 8-week period and throughout the off season in general.
And obviously the best part about the day is everyone get to meet everyone. So obviously not everyone trains together. Everyone has a different schedule. Everyone has a busy schedule for the season. And I think having obviously South and hopefully North as well.
We'll probably actually start to categorise North as well.
Yeah.
And put people in and get all the shirts. It'll be actually pretty cool if we can organise the shirts and the hats and
different colours.
Everyone's got their own different teams on, which, again, that was kind of the original goal, was like to build it into certain teams.
Yeah.
And then it's nearly like an overall team one each year as well.
I think the coaches need to pick a side as well. We have to.
I'm North.
HQ.
I'm Rocco.
I'm neutral.
You're Switzerland.
I'm West.
Well, I think it's good because if we pick a side, at least surely we got to coach this one as well.
Hey, are you sure you want that smoke?
Oh, you guys ain't ready
I'm
for
winning
speed.
the vertical.
No, you're not.
That's about it.
Bro lost 10 kilos. I thought it's him.
Fat don't fly, baby.
But yeah, after the second, obviously the second combine is in December as well.
November 30th.
November 30th. Sorry,
Nice, Keith.
Close.
Keith just turns up each day.
Well, I mean, end of November, start of December. Same.
The Christmas party's on the 1st of December.
That's all you're thinking about.
Yeah, literally.
Just want a holiday.
Same? No.
No, but the second one's obviously going to be a lot bigger than the first because that's open invitation as well. But so if you are keen, links should be up for the first one for our guys. But obviously you got a bit of time frame from now to about December to figure out if you really want to compete against our guys as well.
The second one.
The second one.
Wild card draw, yep.
But it's good. Last year was huge.
Yeah.
I think this year is going to be a lot
I
bigger
think we got
for us.
50 or something last year. We'll have to statistically calculate it. Because the other thing too is we're most likely going to do a youth combine as well with our crew. So we just got to figure out the numbers and the time frames and how this is all going to work. But we'll
first dibs is obviously going to go to athletes. So if we fill it up, we'll probably have a handful of wild cards regardless. But if we fill it up with just our athletes, it's just going to limit how many spots we open for wild cards. So get into it.
Yeah, more details to come when we know what the fuck we're doing.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned on socials as always. Perform Coach Keith.
I'm posting content now, so nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing for me.
You're done.
You gonna sign off?
All right. So as always, thank you for tuning in to 2.5 Coaches and tuning in for episode 14
With Connor O'Sullivan.
with Connor O'Sullivan.
That's
How
going to be a
good.
good episode.
Yeah, it's
Huge.
good. Very good.
Catch you
Thank
next
you.
time. If you can, leave us 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening to and subscribe. It'll help us out in growing this as well. It'll be cool to get on more guests. We've been pretty lucky to have some pretty awesome athletes on so far. So just helps us get more people on. So exciting.
Sweet.
See you on the next one.